"Here's to family," Claire said, voice sharp as glass. "Except for Hannah, the failure who thinks money makes her worth something." They laughed. My parents, my sister, like I wasn't sitting right there with the wine I paid for under the roof I helped them keep. I didn't blink, didn't shift, just raised my own glass and said, "To the failure who just stopped paying for everything you own." Then I drank. Not wine, power. I used to think love was earned. If I sent enough money, paid enough bills, covered the cracks they refused to see, maybe they'd finally say, "We're proud of you." But in this family, guilt is currency, and silence is debt. It started small. Claire forgot her rent for the third time. Mom needed help with a temporary car payment. Dad's retirement fund had gone missing. I made 6 figures before I was 30. They knew I'd say yes, so they asked again and again, until help became obligation, and I became the family ATM in heels. I told myself it was love. That's how they loved, rough, sarcastic, tight-lipped. But then I saw the text. Claire left her phone open on the kitchen counter while she stirred stuffing. The group chat, titled Thanksgiving Shade. Cute. Mom, hope Hannah doesn't show up in one of those stiff suits again. Claire, she will, dressed like a walking LinkedIn profile. Dad, bet she brings another fancy dessert no one wants. That was the moment. No screaming, no crying, just stillness. I left the kitchen smiling, finished my pie, then made my plan. They thought they were clever, tying themselves to my accounts like vines, but everything was in my name. The house, mine. The car, leased under my credit. Utilities, insurance, phones, even the Wi-Fi password, all traced back to me. I didn't rage. I just began cutting cords. I called the bank, froze the co-signed cards, shifted the utilities to their names, sold the leased car, it was still legally mine, canceled the streaming accounts they shared like parasites. It took a week, a quiet, meticulous week. Thanksgiving came. I arrived late, wearing black. They always mocked it, said I looked like I was headed to a funeral. I was. Claire greeted me with a smirk. "You made it. We almost started without our financier." I smiled, set down the pie, said nothing. They seated me by the trash can again. A tradition. I didn't ask why. I already knew. Dinner was noise, boasts, snide remarks, wine poured from bottles I bought. Not a single thank you. And then Claire stood, glass raised, venom loaded. "Here's to family, except Hannah." They laughed, and I finally didn't care. I stood, glass raised, "To the failure," I said, "who just stopped paying for everything you own." Silence. Claire blinked. What the hell does that mean? I pulled papers from my purse, dropped them beside the gravy. "Mortgage," I said, "now in your name. Due Monday. Car? Gone. Check the driveway. Phone plan? Canceled. Credit card? Frozen. Wi-Fi? Ends tonight at midnight." My mother's fork clattered. My father turned red. Claire grabbed the papers like she could undo them by touching harder. "You're bluffing!" I leaned in. "Call the bank." They unraveled in seconds. Mom tried guilt, said I was cruel, selfish, dramatic. Dad told me I'd regret this. Claire, she just swore, said I'd be back, that I needed them. I didn't answer. I picked up my purse, left the pie, and walked out the front door with my spine straight. It's been 3 weeks. Claire's credit score tanked. Mom called crying when the electricity got shut off. Dad sent a voicemail, one long sigh and a hang-up. They say I broke the family. But no, I just stopped financing the lie. Final line. They called me a failure. But failure doesn't write the checks. And it sure as hell doesn't walk away without looking back.